So in this video, I am going to be recreating this flyer that I found on Pinterest in Canva. This flyer was designed by Chisholm of Bona. So first things first, I am going to start by dissecting the layers that make up his design of the flyer, and then I'm using my own photo that I already had in Canva in PNG format to start building my layers. Next, I am adding the blocks that he used, similar to what he used to create the background for the text area. So I'm using the shape elements in Canva in order to do this, playing around with the colors. So first I want to say that this is not an attempt to steal, discredit, or downplay the work that goes into creating beautiful flyers like the one that Chisholm did here. This is more of a tribute to the fact that his designs are so nice and so clean that I thought that they would make a great demonstration to you to see what good design actually looks like, but also to help you break down what goes into making good design outside of the creativity parts, of course. So we're talking about the technical part. So I'm playing around with the elements here. Next, I'm going to start looking for the colors that make up the background. So my interpretation of what I saw on his flyer is an orange and a purple gradient or effect. And so that's what I typed in to the Pexels app on Canva. I didn't type it into the Elements app because I'm using a free account and I know the majority of the things that I would find there would be pro only. So I did it in Pexels so I could get access to more free images. And so what I'm doing now is just using Canva's photo editing tool to play around with my photo itself to kind of give it some dimension, some dynamics, get it to look kind of the same as or similar to what he has there. So now I'm noticing that the overlay that he has on his photo has a little bit more dimension. So I'm looking for something in the Pexels app again that has more dimension. Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to keep this one. I don't like it too much. So I'll just keep on looking and playing around. So I deleted that. And then I went to the Elements tab in Canva and I typed in overlay. Now an overlay is in Canva is a photo or element that has a transparent element to it. Because it has a little bit of transparency, so once you put it on top of whatever you're designing, it kind of creates that effect without making the background element disappear completely. So next, what I'm gonna start doing here is filling in some of the, just playing around with the background elements a bit some more to get some depth, to get some effects, playing around with transparency. And now I'm going to add in the text and I'm going to place it exactly how he has his. So I use the Anton text because Anton is a text that I already knew that was similar to the style of text that he used. It's not the same, but it was similar, and so that's why I chose that. This is a sans serif font. All right, so I'm just adding in all the elements that I can identify, and each element creates a layer. So that's why I always say that once you understand how layers work, then you can improve your design skills like automatically. Now I'm adding in my text to kind of match the layout and the placement using similar fonts to what he has there. All right, so putting in all the pieces into place, and then afterwards I can go ahead and clean up. So what I normally like to do when I'm designing, this is my process, whether in Photoshop or Canva, I try to get all the elements that I need on the page first, and then I work afterwards in rearranging them and having them lay out the way that I want. I just like to see everything on the page so that I know what I'm working with and what considerations I need to take in place. Your process may be a little bit different. You may be just a little bit more organized than I am. But this is how I do it. I try to get all the layers on the board and then I clean it up afterwards. So I am playing around with the different fonts to try to get the same effect that he has, changing up the letter spacing on my name on the side there so that it could kind of reflect what he's done there, or mirror what Chisholm has on his. So now I want to create more dimension, and this is a overlay effect that I'm trying to go for here. So I went into the elements, Canva's elements tab, to try to look for an overlay or a textured overlay. But because I'm using a free account to demonstrate to you this particular flyer, most of the elements there are pro. But there's a workaround. If you have a pro account, that is absolutely great. It will help save you a lot of time. But what I'm doing now instead is I went to the Pexels app and I typed in texture. And now I'm playing with the transparency of the one that I chose just to try to get it to blend. And then I'm now using not Photoshop. I'm using Canva's just different stylized options here to try to create some effect. I'm not so much worrying about getting it exactly perfectly to match Chisholm's, because it's still all interpretation, you know. So that's not what I was trying to do. Just want to show you what you can do. And now what I'm doing here is I am stylizing it just to my own preferences, and I'm going to continue playing around with it until I get it to look like how I want. So there we have it. So this is what I had, and this is what I came up with. And I want you to join me for my next class so I can teach you how you can do this on your own.